Cavs fans, welcome to another episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll Podcast, the podcast for diehard Cavs fans. I'm Corey. I am here with Alex. Alex, it's been a minute, and before recording, you kind of had your guitar out. Is that how you've been keeping your time, busy with no Cavs basketball? Is that how you're filling your time?
Yeah, I've been
Guitar?
playing a lot lately.
What do you play?
Got a new guitar too, actually. Just got a Schecter Solo 2. It's kind of their Les Paul style guitar. Pretty much anything rock. So a little bit of Pink Floyd. Just kind of messing around. Just
Cool.
pick up a guitar, noodle, play through some chord progressions, and that's pretty much it. It's
Yeah,
just a good stress reliever.
absolutely. That's awesome. Guitar is one of those things I wish I would have learned how to play. Never learned. Maybe
Me
there's
too.
time for that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's a journey. It's not something you pick up and really start
Yeah, that's
playing songs with.
I think that's my fear. It's like, am I ready to make that commitment? And the Cavs season's gonna be here before we know it. I'm not gonna have the time, Alex. So
Yeah.
you were smart to do it over the summer. So with that being said, Alex, it's been a little bit, and it's kind of crazy to think that we're only about a month away or so to the preseason, and then Cavs basketball will be there, right around the corner after that. So I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get excited until um, we learned that another starter from the starting five will be missing the start of the season, and that's where I wanted to start this episode to get your take on the Max Strus injury. They're calling it he underwent surgery for a Jones fracture in his left foot. Do you know what a Jones fracture is? Have you ever heard that before?
I've heard of it before, but I'm not sure
Yeah,
exactly what it means.
same here. Same here.
Is it a specific bone in the foot?
I couldn't tell you. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell you. But he sustained it during off-season training, and the injury is expected to keep him sidelined for 3 to 4 months, Alex. So that takes you to the end of the year, pretty much, right? Potentially beginning of 2026. And what's kind of crazy is, and I haven't seen a lot of fans talk about this, is that he actually missed the start of the season last year as well with an injury. I don't remember what it was for, but the Cavs were able to do just fine without him. If you remember, they started off the season, 15, 16-0 or something like that. But I'm not so sure, Alex, it's going to be the same hot start this year around with Strus out and Darius Garland out.
Probably not. I mean, that was wild last season how hot we started. Like I would never expect to start that hot. And it's
No.
kind of funny. Me and Struce, we both got this left foot injury at the same time because my left foot's killing me.
Do you think Max Strus is at home right now playing a little Pink Floyd on the guitar and just, you guys are living the same life
I
then,
hope so,
basically?
man. I think we probably are. I
Yeah.
mean, I go out in the driveway, shoot a few hoops.
I
My
used to
foot hurts. I go inside. I play the guitar a little bit.
I used to call Alex Dylan Windler, and because I always thought he kind of looked like him a little bit, and maybe now I'll start calling you Max Strus. Both out with an injury, both playing guitar. Not practicing your shot like you should be. But Alex, how big of an impact in your mind is it missing Max Strus from the start of this season?
Oh man, I think it's huge. I think we're already down Garland.
Yeah.
Um, we got Lonzo Ball, who is listed. I don't know. Did you know that he's listed as day to day? Like when I pulled up the Cavs roster for the season on Yahoo Sports, it has Garland on the injury reserve, Strus on the injury reserve, and Lonzo day to day. It's like, come on.
I haven't really heard anywhere in any of the reports since he was traded, like what is his actual health level right now on a percentage level? Is he 75% healthy? Is he 90% healthy? Where and also where is he expected to be by the start of the season? The only thing I saw was that they are expecting, or I saw reports of the Cavs not planning on playing him in back-to-back games, which I don't know how many there are on the season, but there's always a a handful, right? To fit in the amount of games that they try to do and the amount of time that they try to do it. So that's a bit concerning that that's already the approach they want to have. But at the same time, what we all really care about is guys like Strus and Lonzo Ball and Garland being there when it matters. So if at the end of the day it takes them not playing ball in back-to-back games and we lose 5 to 10 extra games during the season because of it, but everybody's healthy playoff time, I'll take that bet all day, right? Um, but I'm with you. I think Strus is kind of an underrated player, especially on this team, right? Because you have some other star players in front of him, but Strus is just that workhorse. He's that guy that just plays on both ends of the ball and is very capable of getting very hot as well from behind the
He's a
3 point line.
hustle guy. He's an
He's a hustle
energy
guy. He's
guy.
your
So
energy guy.
he helps get other
Yes.
players involved. He's a 3-point threat. So
Yes. Yes, definitely. And he never stops. He didn't have the best playoff run, but he was still putting in effort. But where I think it's magnified this year is with Garland also being out. And we don't really know what we're going to get out of that point guard position. Is it going to be Lonzo Ball and then Donovan Mitchell playing point guard on back-to-back nights? Like I've made my comments on that I don't love Mitchell playing point guard. So you start to go down this path of, an injury to a guy like Strus becomes more magnified because at least he's been here for a couple years now. He's integrated with that starting lineup, and now he's not, and now we got to integrate someone else. Um, so 3 to 4 months is a pretty significant time. I don't remember how long he was out last year, Alex, but I want to say it was shorter. I thought it was like 6 weeks or something like that. It certainly wasn't nowhere around 3 to 4 months last year.
yeah, I was gonna say more minutes for Sam Merrill, more minutes for Craig Porter Jr. But as I'm scrolling through this Cavs roster on Yahoo, Sam Merrill's listed day to day. Craig Porter Jr. is listed day to day. What is happening here? Maybe some extra minutes for Jalen Tyson. I could definitely see that.
Definitely. I think Tyson's going to be one of the guys that's going to have a great opportunity this year, similar to what Craig Porter Jr. had a couple seasons back, and hopefully Tyson could take advantage of it because not only is Garland out, not only is Strus out, there's no Ty Jerome, right? So that's going to open up opportunities for a guy like Tyson and Merrill and so on and so forth. So I'm with you there, and we'll see if some of the decisions the Cavs made in the offseason if they pay off or not, right? But Alex, who are you if you're the coach or you're the GM, you're calling the shots? Who are you inserting in the starting lineup in Max Strus's absence in the first quarter plus of the season?
Well, I think they'll experiment with a few different lineups. Like I said, I think Sam Merrill uh, it will be a key to help fill that role, and Jalen Tyson, I think, will get plenty of minutes as they sub different guys in and see what works best in the starting lineup, and then what works best in the second lineup.
Yeah, I think, and you and I were talking a little about this the other day at work. We were walking out together, and it seems like the easy answer is to just insert Hunter into the starting lineup, right? And I really wouldn't have a problem with that. I think that would give me confidence in the starting lineup more than what I have right now, right? Because he's a reliable scorer. He's a big body. He could do a lot of different things. But I also wonder if the Cavs like him so much in that six-man role that they'd be hesitant to do that and look elsewhere, like a Sam Merrill, or they have experimented off and on with starting Dean Wade in the past when we've had injuries. If you move Hunter to the starting lineup, sure, any one of those guys can have a night, but it's not on a consistent basis like Hunter can be consistent. So they
Who
really don't have another scorer that can come off the bench where you can rely on to get you double digits if they were to move Hunter into the starting lineup on a night to night basis.
So we're talking about losing Struce, and you're talking about inserting Hunter. Who are you playing at the two then?
Mitchell.
You got
Mitchell's my
Mitch.
starting. Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points in Cleveland. Is probably arguably the second or third best player in Cavs franchise history. He's going to be my starting shooting guard this year, Alex. I'm pretty positive of that. I don't think Jalen Tyson's going to beat him out. We'll see. Who's your starting shooting guard?
No, well, I mean, I'm assuming, I guess I was just assuming Mitchell at the 1,
No,
but,
I don't. I no. I don't want to. No, 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 no,
somebody
no.
else
Don't.
has to play the 1. I mean, you can't just have Lonzo Ball playing 48 minutes.
Well, this is where Craig Porter Jr. is going to get another shot. Last year, he kind of got buried in the roster a bit because the Cavs were so hot and were so deep that Porter Jr.'s services weren't really needed. And when he did play, it was so inconsistently that he was hardly able to make any impact like he was a couple years ago when Garland was out. And I also think this is why they drafted a point guard in the draft. I think Proctor at times will get opportunities as well, specifically in scenarios where if they do sit Ball on the second night of a back to back. Well, now Craig Porter Jr. is starting and Proctor's playing, backup minutes or maybe a little bit of Mitchell in there just to keep the ship going. But I wouldn't go with Mitchell as your every game starting point guard. He's not a real point guard. It's just him bringing up the ball, and we want him catching the ball on offense and making something happen, not trying to create for others. Not that he can't, but he's just going to be more effective catching that ball coming off a screen or in the corner or, for a backdoor alley oop or something like that off of a pick is where he's going to be more effective, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just don't think that we have any other playmakers really,
Well, right, and that's why
or
I was
anyone that can
saying,
even get the ball up the court. I mean, look at the playoffs. Jeez,
well,
against the
yeah,
Pacers, no one could get the ball up the court. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. But
yeah, but that's why I think Hunter remaining in the second unit it might be the better play, even though it's tempting to insert him into the starting lineup. Because again, Sam Merrill can come in off the bench and hit three threes. He can also go 0 for 8 and can't get to the rim, can't post up anybody. Like he's limited, right? Dean Wade has been very streaky, and lately he's underperformed. I would say the last 2 years now, and part of that is injuries. I think this is his final year to kind of, you know, do something, make an impact on a consistent basis, or maybe it's time to move on.
who's
And I've
that?
already Dean Wade,
Dean Wade.
Dean
All
Wade,
right,
and I've already seen
Drippy
articles on
Dean.
Dean Wade. Dean Wade is like one of the biggest candidates to be moved in a trade because of the salary cap and the value that he still kind of holds, and he's on a cheap contract. But there's other people that can be inserted, but I don't have that confidence in anybody right now, which isn't a great feeling, and again magnifies an injury like to a Max Strus, who you at least know what you're getting on a night to night basis.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Luke Travers is in there too, man. We got two Aussies now, Luke Travers and Proctor. So,
Yeah, yeah, and you got to remember too, like Larry Nance Jr. is on the team this year.
right?
He's a big, but he's not a big. He's an undersized big. Do they plug him in there every once in a while at the small forward position? Maybe they do something like that. Maybe it's a lot of small ball. You know, Atkinson will get creative. I do think you're right. I think, which will be frustrating, by the way, but I do think they will kind of be forced to play with the starting lineup and have different versions of it the first 20 games of the season, 30 games of the season until they figure out what kind of works. Because there really isn't just a sure thing to insert there, including Lonzo Ball at the point guard position.
Boy, you know what would have been the sure thing to insert there?
I do. I
Ty
do know.
Jerome.
Absolutely. 9 million. Alex, I we were talking about that too when we were walking out the other day. Like, man, that's gonna come up a lot this season to bite us in the butt if things don't go as planned. And again, really, when I say that, it's like eh, expectations on this team are higher than they're ever going to be with this group. Like, in my opinion, it's this year they got to get over the hump, or it's time to start making significant decisions on your roster, right? And if we do have rocky times, it's going to be so easy to say, man, Ty Jerome right now, we running this offense while Lonzo Ball's out yet again with an injury. Craig Porter Jr. isn't ready to step up, and we don't want Mitchell playing point guard. Ty Jerome would have been able to come right in there, play a starting role, and be fine. But we don't have that luxury anymore. and it feels like the roster is not as deep as what it was a year ago as a result.
I feel the same way. Like I feel like this team isn't as good as last year's team. And I don't know why I feel that way because really there hasn't been much change to the roster besides losing Ty Jerome and Tristan Thompson, right?
Anakuro.
And Okoro. Yeah, that's a good call out. And we
Yeah.
brought in Larry Nance Jr. and Lonzo Ball, and I just don't know that either of
Yeah.
them are really an upgrade to that incredible regular season that we had last year. So
Realistically, they're probably not, right? Because even though with the Kuro, a lot of people would say he underperformed as a fifth draft pick. Again, he was a hustle guy. He was athletic. He was young. He was starting to knock down some shots. He's able to do some things, not on a consistent basis, but you knew what you had with him. Ty Jerome has the breakout season of his career, amazing season, beyond expectations. We got lucky there, right? And then TT, who didn't play a lot, was just there, right? Kind of a wash. But with Lonzo Ball, who's been injured for the last 2.5 years, that doesn't instill a lot of confidence. And Larry Nance Jr. at this point of his career is just more of like a nice story. He's returning home again, but really, how much gas does he have left in the tank? He came out and he came out and basically said he feels like he's one of the missing puzzle pieces to this whole thing, and I'm hoping he can sit here and contribute, but I don't know what the realistic expectations are for him. I haven't really been following him the last couple years since he moved on from the Cavs.
yeah, I haven't either. He's 32 years old, so it's not like he's a dinosaur, right?
He's not a dinosaur,
He's
but I'm not.
he's probably dead center in his prime, or just a little
He's a little past it,
trending
probably.
downward past
He's
his prime, but he's
he-
not ancient. I mean, he's not 40-year-old
yeah.
LeBron here.
I would say I would view Larry Nance Jr. as an upgrade over TT because I see Larry Nance Jr. actually being used in the rotation to where TT was not, used on a regular basis in the rotation. The problem is if he doesn't produce, then what? Then you're kind of in trouble, right? Because you're still thin at that big position in my opinion. You still just got Allen Mobley and then Nance,
Yeah,
really.
Larry Nance Jr. can make a shot from 3 feet away from the hoop, whereas TT couldn't.
Yes, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see Max Strus going down yet again is a tough blow, and I had heard that a lot of people in the organization feel for Max right now because he was working his tail off in the off season, and that again that shows in the regular season as well because he's again one of those guys that just is always out there putting in effort. So you hate to see that happen to a guy like that. That's just trying to work on his game in the off season, but he'll be back, and the Cavs will have to figure it out. So the other thing I want to talk about, Alex, something else that happened since our last episode, which was a little while ago now, is that the 2025-2026 NBA schedule came out, including for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We now know some things. We know that preseason starts on October 7th, I believe, against the Chicago Bulls. They have 4 preseason games. They're all away games. I think they play the Bulls twice, the Celtics, and somebody else. I can't remember right now.
They're
And
all
two
away games.
all away games, which I thought was interesting. I
Two
don't
of
know.
two of them are away games. Two of them are home games.
Are they really? I thought I saw
Yeah,
all of them were away. Okay, then I misread that. And 2 of those games will be nationally televised. And Alex, this is the first year where there's going to be some. This is going to be weird. There's going to be some basketball. There's going to be some NBA games on additional streaming services, channels, whatever you want to call it, because there's going to be games on Peacock. There's going to be games on Prime. There's going to be games on the ESPN/ABC app, and then your typical, local Bally Sports and so on and so forth. First, do you like that? That games will be on so many different networks. Now I know you're not gonna. I know how you watch games, and I know how I'm gonna watch games. We won't be bouncing all around like that because we don't have to. But like, do you think that's good for the NBA to offer games on all these different platforms now.
I don't think so. I think it's a pain in the ass. I think it's going to make it very difficult to find the game I want to watch. And if you're going to want to watch every game, then you got to subscribe to all these different subscriptions. No, I think it's pretty lousy. Just put all the games on Fox Sports Ohio for me. Come on.
Well, and the thing too is, and I'm with you, right? Like if you're the casual NBA like basketball fan, like you don't have Peacock because you want to watch the 5 Cavs games that'll be on there this year. That's right. 5 games will be on Peacock. Okay. So you're not purchasing a subscription to that. But if you're already an existing subscriber to Peacock and you're somewhat interested in sports and basketball, like, oh, there's a Cavs game on tonight and I can actually watch this. Like, I think that's what it's for. But the thing is so few games are on these other services. There'll be 4 Cavs games on Amazon Prime. It's like if that game is also on Bally Sports, Ohio, or FanDuel, whatever it's called now, FanDuel, I think, right? FanDuel Sports,
Yeah.
because they bought them out. Like if that game's also on FanDuel, even though if I have a Prime subscription, why wouldn't I just watch it on FanDuel? Right? It's where I'm watching all my other games, and it's just instead of bouncing all over the place.
I think it might be good if you're like you said casual fan, but I mean like super casual fan where you're not even
Yeah.
looking for the Cavs games, you're just looking for those blockbuster matchups. Like you turn on Peacock and you're like, oh, what NBA game's on tonight? Oh, it's Lakers Mavericks, perfect. Like you don't like you just watch the blockbuster games or I think maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. It really sucks if you're a hardcore fan and you just want to watch your team, every game of your team.
Yeah, and here's the other crappy thing too, is I'm looking at the regular season and like here's some of the games that are going to be on Peacock. You have Detroit, Milwaukee, Toronto, Charlotte, San Antonio, um, Orlando. Some of these games are on Peacock and NBC at the same time, so there's actually more than 5. There's like 10 games. Um, so I mean, it's not like there's some decent teams in there, but it's not like the cream of the crop of the matchups for the Cavs, right? And if I look at Prime, let's see what we got for Prime: Indiana, Minnesota, Golden State, and Atlanta. Arguably playoff teams. That's a little bit better than the Peacock ones. But again, it's just if I could watch that game locally, and I'm a Cavs fan that watches basketball games, I'm probably not watching on these other services. Um, but it's interesting. This is the first year of that. We'll see if it works. We'll see if this expands beyond this season, and if they continue to, increase those number of games or anything like that. Um, but Alex, the Cavs this year have 24 nationally televised games. Okay. I wanted to see where does that stack up against like who's the highest teams in the league with how many games nationally televised. Well, 24 is the Cavs. There are 4 teams that have 34 games nationally televised, which is the highest in the NBA.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh wow, 24 games. That's pretty good."
Yeah,
But
sounds
but
like a
then
lot.
but then I saw that the Los Angeles Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, the New York Knicks, and the Oklahoma City Thunder all have 34 nationally
Wow.
televised
I would have
games.
guessed the Celtics would have been one of those.
Yeah, yeah, which would have been horrible because they're not going to be, you know, the same team without Jason Tatum this year, right? Much like Indiana won't be with their injuries as well. But the Cavs get 24 nationally televised games. But most importantly, Alex, for the first time since I believe the 2017-2018 season, the Cavs get a Christmas Day game.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been a long
exciting.
time. It's
Christmas
been a long
Day
time.
at noon.
Yes. It's the
Fun.
first game, which is a little unfortunate. But hey, by then you're done. You're done with the Christmas gifts, right? Your kids are already done opening up their gifts. You've done breakfast. It's time to sit around and just enjoy some Cavs basketball. I'm excited about that. They play the New York Knicks on Christmas Day. They also open up the regular season against the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks will be paired up a lot with us on those nationally televised games. But man, Alex, how fun was it? You know, making those title runs with the big three here, and every year there was a Christmas Day game, and those were some of the funnest games to watch, and there were some classics.
Yeah, for sure. And even the Christmas Day jerseys, those were
Yeah,
always pretty cool.
yeah. So I'm excited to see the Cavs on Christmas Day again. I don't remember, is that game is that game home or away?
It's at New York.
Ah, of course it is.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Tickets as low as $278 already.
I do see that. So we're both looking at the
Yeah.
same. We're both looking at ESPN right now.
Yeah, and it's being broadcast on ABC and ESPN
And
according to
ESPN.
this. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That's cool. I also heard that we are playing on Martin Luther King Day, which is another great day for basketball fans. Is there's just like Christmas Day, there's basically basketball on from noon till midnight. So that's cool that the Cavs are getting some love in those areas because they didn't play on Christmas Day, and I don't believe they played on Martin Luther King Day last year either. So, um, do you feel that the Cavs, they're getting more recognition, more nationally televised games? Do you feel that also, you know, from the NBA's eyes or like from the Cavs fans' eyes, does that also increase expectations for this team? Um, like they obviously fell short last year. They've kind of disappointed for a couple years in a row now. I forget who it was. If it was there was a report that some GM, some unnamed GM, was saying this was the year. Like they have to go to the finals, or they basically have to blow it up and rethink their strategy. And the fact that they're playing on Christmas Day, they're getting more nationally televised games, signals that the NBA is treating them like a title contender to give them that platform, that spotlight. But do you kind of agree with that? And I kind of said this earlier, but do you agree that this is kind of the last run, I think, of keeping things as is? And if they fall short again, like do you feel that core four survives past this season?
I think as is kind of leaves a lot to be. There's a lot of movement there, right? Like this season is definitely as is compared to last season. We barely made any roster changes. Do I think that they need to blow up like the core four? No, I don't think so. I think they definitely need to shake it up as to who the role players are around them. But I think Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, shoot, Garland's 25,
Mhm.
Mobley's 24, Mitchell's 28. Um, around those three, I think these guys are still in the prime of their career for at least Mitchell, at least 3 more seasons.
Yeah.
Garland, 4 or 5 more seasons. Mobley, 6, 7 more seasons. So
Sure.
I wouldn't give up on any of those guys, just because they failed to make it to, I don't know, conference finals. Um, but you definitely got to shake up, the rest of the roster.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how the season plays out. We're starting off with some injuries to kick off the season. Hopefully, the amount of injuries once the season starts are limited. Would that be a major blow if there was another injury? While we already have Garland and Strus out early on, so obviously this team needs some luck on their side when it comes to health, which is always a factor. And I think where I am coming at with this season, and I wonder if Cavs fans feel the same way. Like I'm starting to get a little bit excited because like, oh man, Cavs basketball is a month away. Like that's exciting. But at the same time, I think I am approaching this year a little bit differently. Um, I'm always going to have my opinions. We're always going to have our opinions. We like to talk Cavs basketball. That's why we do this podcast. But I'm going to try not to get too high or too low this year because I've been fooled a couple times now. We've been fooled a couple times now by the regular season version of this Cleveland Cavaliers team. And the hardest part of this season will be waiting, watching this team and waiting to when it actually matters next April, in May, in June. Obviously, the journey there, we want to see them, playing good basketball, looking like they're continuing to improve, and so on and so forth. But as things get rocky, as things are very high and they're playing great, I'll also keep in the back of my mind, like, "Okay, this is great," or "This sucks," but it really doesn't mean anything because the New York Knicks look like crap weeks leading up to the playoffs, right? Like, Indiana Pacers were playing better, but they started off the season real poor, I remember. Like, they were under 500 through the first 30 games. Like, so the regular season only goes so far. So I'm being a little bit more guarded this year with the regular season version of the Cavs. Are you in that camp, or are you just like, man, I just take it game by game, day by day, me and my guitar, and I'm living life, man. I just want to watch some Cavs basketball.
Yeah, you know what? I know that in the grand scheme of things, regular season doesn't matter, but as someone who watches all 82 games, I want to see him win. Like I'm not watching watching to see him lose 40 games during the regular season and only win 40 and then, they're going to play in the playoffs the way they're going to play in the playoffs and they're either going to win a championship or they're not. But the 90% of my time watching the Cavs is going to be regular season games. So I want to
Right.
see them win those games, even if they don't matter in the grand scheme. Like,
Absolutely. And
it's entertainment, right? And I want to be
sure.
entertained. Like,
And I
I
don't
know, I know
know.
everybody's going to say regular season doesn't matter. Who cares as long as they win in the playoffs? Well, it does matter because I'm a Cavs fan and I watch all the games and I want to see them win.
Absolutely. And I don't know how much I buy into the stock yet because I'm trying not to fool myself, but it does feel like and a lot of reports have come out that, like, oh, this is going to be the easiest path, like the Cavs should dominate or the Knicks should dominate because the Celtics and Pacers are most likely going to take steps backwards because of the injuries. But everybody always forgets there's always teams that make leaps every year, right? And I couldn't tell you, is that Detroit? Is that Orlando? Like, does Orlando finally figured out and all of a sudden become a top 3 team in the East and a serious threat? Like, somebody will make that jump as well. But it'd be horrible to see the Cavs kind of also not continue to be like, hey, we're the top dogs, like, and they need to play like that. And that should result in the Cavs winning basketball games this year. And I've
Yeah.
already seen predictions and reports that the Cavs are predicted to be the number 1 seed again in the regular season. And I hope that happens. But there'll still be a piece of me, Alex, that's like, all right, this is fun, this is good, or this is really bad right now. But again, it in the grand scheme of things, what matters truly is come playoff time, and it's time to get over the hump. It's time to make a run at the finals and get there and get that experience for this young group.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that, you will see. I mean, I think the Magic are going to be better. They're going to be a good team, much better team this season, and I think the Bucks will be too. Both those teams made pretty good upgrades in the offseason.
yeah, and I think Detroit will continue to be there too. They also added Karis LeVert over the offseason, right? And we know what he brings. JB another year with those guys. Cunningham another year older and wiser in the league, now has playoff experience under his belt. That was a hell of a series with the Knicks, right? So that team is starting to learn to understand what it means to win as well, and they're a gritty team. Like, to me, Detroit becomes the new Indiana Pacers team that I worry about in a playoff matchup, because their style is very Pacers like, as far as aggressive and just nonstop, in your face and so on and so forth. So the
They
Cavs,
also got that coach that's pretty decent.
yeah, yeah, hey, they do. JB is a pretty decent coach. I won't argue that.
Yeah.
So I know we haven't even started the season, but that's where my mind's already at. My mind's already at May and June and basketball when it counts. And it's fun watching Cavs basketball, but it's also torture to wait that long again to get to those games. I do feel, Alex, it is going to take, like Ty Jerome having a breakout season, one of these other players are going to have to step up, because you're going to put a lot of time. You just committed 4 years to Sam Merrill. Jalen Tyson's going to get a lot of run. Craig Porter Jr. is going to get another opportunity. You know, you need one of those guys. Dean Wade's going to get another opportunity, right? Yet again, one of these guys got to pan out as far as become somewhat of a consistent contributor. And I think that'll help as well with the season and the Cavs continuing to play winning basketball. If those guys continue to struggle, you can't have 4 or 5 guys in your second unit that struggle consistently, right? So you need those guys. You need a couple of those guys to become factors this year and be rotational players on a consistent basis for this
Yeah,
team.
yeah, we need a few guys to step up and be ballers.
Exactly, exactly. So the Cavs do have, Alex, one more open roster spot that I haven't seen a lot on as far as what the Cavs might do with that. I think quietly they have moved away from TT, right? They have not brought him back. TT hasn't really said much, hasn't announced retirement from basketball or anything like that. But with bringing in Larry Nance Jr., that was kind of the writing on the wall for TT. And again, TT, Cavs legend, all that stuff. But let's be honest, he's not really contributing on a night in and night out basis. But with that 14th roster spot, Alex, if you had a wish list of what to do with that, a realistic one, any names or players jump out to you? I heard Malik Beasley is a name that was thrown out there most recently.
Hmm.
But is it some veteran guy that is just sitting at the end of the bench? Do you want to be aggressive and go after a Beasley? Someone that can contribute. We probably get outbid, but like, what would you like to see him do with that last roster spot?
Yeah, I think Malik Beasley would be a good target.
Yeah,
I really don't know who else is out there. We could go after another big like Al Horford.
I heard he was going out west.
Oh, really?
He
I
was going
hadn't
out
heard that.
west. I don't know if it was the Warriors or what. I don't even know if it became official or not, but I heard he was out there. What about Kawhi, man? Kawhi's in some trouble. Maybe he'll part ways with the Clippers and he'll be available. Kawhi Leonard, have you heard?
I don't. I guess I haven't looked at our what our salary situation is.
Not
Does
very
it need
good.
to be a vet? We looking at a vet minimum
They might
type of
actually be
player?
able. They might be able to afford you, but not much more than that.
Uh, so no MLE, huh?
No, 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 no. They don't have very much. It's basically vet men, which is where I think Beasley is unfortunately not gonna. Some team's gonna pay him more than the vet men.
Maybe a Ryan Hollins,
There you go.
a Henry Sims.
There. Oh man. See. You were just talking about. I don't want to watch a 40-40 win team and 40 losses, but those type of names and Christian Skyanga and Manny Harris and Semi Urdan and Luke Herringody. Those are the names from those.
Aaron Goody. Oh my gosh.
Those are the names and the fun times we had with those subpar, non-winning franchises, Alex. So
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we can bring back Colin Sexton.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
What's Dion Waiters up to these days?
I'm actually surprised he's not like in the big three league and like winning just MVPs left and right. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't even know how old he is. He's got to
He
be
can't be that old.
he's got to be Kyrie age wise, right? Early 30s.
I'm
I'll go
looking.
I'll go 33.
Uh, did he get drafted the same year as Kyrie? Now I can't remember.
Year after. He
Year
was the year
after.
after.
Oh, he's 33. He's older
33.
than I thought.
Well, he should be in the big
He's
three
a
or
year older than Larry Nance Jr., who you're saying is over the hill.
yep, yep, yep.
Dang.
Waiters was a bucket. Waiters was a bucket though. So yeah, we'll see, Alex. And hey, I sent you a highlight video of a former Cavalier who's currently playing in the NBL League, the National Basketball League, which is like an Australian league. Dylan Windler putting up some numbers over there. A nice highlight video of him going around on YouTube, putting up 29 points. Maybe the Cavs bring him back to fill that last roster spot, Alex.
Maybe. You never know.
Well, they seem to like to bring back players from the
He's
past.
available.
He is available. He is available.
Smarto Samuels.
Yeah, yeah. Another good one. Oh, okay. It's been a while since we've done an episode, and we're definitely going down the rabbit hole here, Alex. But
Yeah, I didn't even get to tell my Machine Gun Kelly story yet. I ran into MGK at the airport. your boy MGK.
Ah.
Late
And did
night on
you
a red eye Wednesday night. I was flying back from Chicago, and I didn't know who it was. I didn't recognize him. He had a hoodie up and sunglasses on, and he was had his back to me, and he was wearing a guitar on his back. Yeah,
everybody's got a guitar now these days, I guess, huh?
I
Jeez.
guess. And I said something to him. I was like, "Nice guitar" or something. I don't know.
He didn't acknowledge you.
I didn't even like know. Well, I didn't even think that it could possibly be him. Like I barely know who he is to begin with. And I saw this huge, monstrous, gigantic black guy that looked a lot like LeBron James, beard, standing. And I thought, I was like, oh, is LeBron here? And then he turned around, I could see his face, and no, it wasn't LeBron. And then I saw the skinny, tall dude standing next to him with a guitar on his back.
Yeah,
And then I
bodyguard.
was like, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
bodyguard.
bodyguard.
Then it clicked, and I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, it's MGK.
It
I
would have been
didn't.
it would have been better to run into like Craig Elo instead or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You would have got
I
more
didn't
out of it.
realize it was him until he like because he had his back towards me and he turned and then I saw like the blonde hair sticking out of the
Yeah,
hoodie and the sunglasses on. It's like, oh geez,
that's funny.
I'm just gonna keep walking then.
Right, right, right.
And then I listened to his new album that released like 2 days after he flew into Cleveland,
Right.
and I've listened to it like a dozen times since. I'm sorry to admit.
That's funny.
I'm just too lazy to like remove it from my playlist, so I just let it go.
Right,
And
right.
there are some catchy songs on there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
he switched from rap to he calls it rock and roll, but it's more pop, generic
He's
pop
going
rock.
he's going the Kid Rock role. Nah, Kid Rock went country though.
I would say even Kid Rock is a little more rock than
Yeah.
this. This is I don't know. He's got some rock on there. Like one song sounds like a rejected Blink 182 song. One sounds like I don't know, kind of generic pop song after generic pop song, and there's a little bit of rap in there. There's one song that's actually pretty good and talks about him growing up in Cleveland. I
Hmm.
can't remember the name of it. He talks about getting his beat stolen riding the blue line. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I've ridden the blue line, so you can relate a little bit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Well, good stuff, Alex. Anything else on your end you want to throw out there or talk about Cavs basketball wise?
I can't really think of anything else. I'm surprised we had this much content because nothing's really been happening besides the Strus injury. Schedule release. What else? Cleveland Rockers, I think, named a president, I want to say. So that's
Yeah,
still happening.
yeah.
The Browns, Cleveland Browns. Don't know if that stadium's going to happen in Berea. That, you know, is still
The Cavs are
in
still
the works.
the Cavs are still the surest thing in town, right?
That's
So
right.
hey, be thankful, Cavs fans.
I caught a Guardians game. It was great, but they lost.
In person, did you go or just on
Yeah,
TV?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was
Yeah,
actually, my buddy Josh we had tickets to see the Silver Sun pickups at the House of Blues.
yeah.
And there was a Guardians game earlier that day. And we're like, oh, well, we'll get tickets. We'll see the Guardians game. We'll go straight from there to the House
Yeah,
of Blues. We'll make a day of it. Yeah, it
sure.
was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. All
Lots
right,
to do,
Alex.
lots to do in downtown Cleveland. Get out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's go
Catch,
ahead and wrap up this episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast. Want to thank you, Cavs fans, as always, for tuning in and listening. And Alex, let them know where they can follow us and connect with us.
follow us on Twitter at Cavs Pick and Roll. Shoot us an email, cavspickandroll@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Leave us a rating or review. We'd appreciate it.
All right, Cavs fans, there it is. We will talk to you again soon.
Peace out, Cavs fans.